This is Picking Up the Pixels RPG Love for August 2018. Welcome back to another episode of Picking Up the Pixels RPG Love. I'm your host, Boston. Joining me as always is Musum.
Hey.
And Mina.
Hi.
We got a late start this time, so let's just get started here with Musum. What have you been playing this past month?
So I haven't played a whole ton of stuff, but I have played Ys VIII, Lacrimosa of Dana a whole lot. Very long and strange title to say out loud.
Yeah, I've been surprised because every time I turn on my Switch, it always says, like, one friend is on, and then you're always playing Ys VIII. And I was like, I'm surprised. It must be really good.
It's, I really like it a lot. Like, there's some moments in the game where it wants me to do stuff that I don't like about it very much. Okay, so the things I like about the game is, you know, at its core, you're crash landed on an island, so your goal is to make this village that can sustain and protect itself.
Oh, right. This is my weakness game.
Yeah. And, like, you can get your characters gifts, and they have, like, a very, like, everything in it is, like, the systems you dread done the simplest way possible, in a way, I guess you could say. Like, the crafting system in it is super, super easy. Like, you almost always find everything you need whenever you need it. And, like, to figure out whatever you're missing is, like, I've only had to, you know, I'm probably 40 hours in the game or something, and I've only really had to dig into the game's glossary once or twice, or not glossary, I don't know, beast and...
Like its codex?
Journal thing, yeah.
Okay.
Like its codex. To figure out where you get them. And, like, on the map, like, it shows you all the drop points for the plants, and it says what you have a chance of getting from them. So,
oh, nice.
Like, it makes it pretty easy once you figure out kind of how to traverse the menus. The parts of the game that I really haven't enjoyed, and I think they're through. I hope they're through. Probably wrong. Like, I enjoy, you know, going and exploring the island and finding more survivors and this and this and that. And then in, like, Chapter 4, like, after you've already put in 20 hours into the game, they're like, guess what? Your main character has this weird dream, and now you're playing as this woman named Dana in the past.
Oh, no.
And
so it's a real, like, Squall Laguna thing?
Yeah, that sounds like it.
That does sound like... God, I don't even remember how I felt about Laguna's parts. Like...
The only way I remembered that, by the way, is because there's a Final Fantasy VIII banner in Brave Exvius right now.
Yeah.
God, I haven't... I probably need to replay that game if I'm going to keep saying it's one of my favorite Final Fantasies.
It's so good. I was defending it the other day, because my brother was asking... He's never played it. He's played all the other ones. He's asking me how it is, and I was like, I like it a lot. I don't think it's always good, but it's probably the most unique Final Fantasy game out of all of them.
I think if you like the card game, you'll probably love 8 because if you get good at the card game, you're good at Final Fantasy 8.
That's true.
I really enjoyed that card game until...
so did I.
What was it? Random? There was some rule that spread that I really hated.
Oh, yeah.
It had to have been random. It was something with an R, but... well, like, the first few times you play Dana in Ys VIII, like, there's no combat. Like, you're literally just walking around her city talking to people. And for me, relaxing, not really wanting any storyline. Like, it was really, like, the exact opposite of what I wanted in those moments. And they all lasted longer than I wanted them to. I think she's a neat character. I think if I were in a better mind state, I'd probably be more fascinated by some of the backlog and story they throw into it. I'm normally a story person. I've just been work's been pretty intense this last month, so I really needed something I could just relax to and kind of turn my brain off with.
something like we were talking about earlier, like No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
That's been a real turn your brain off game, man.
I've really been considering that one too lately, but I really want to beat something I'm playing. So, I'm going to beat Ys 8. Like, I think it only has, like, 6 chapters, or maybe it's 8 or something. I'm on chapter 5. Like, I don't want to give any spoilers, but at the same time, if you don't think Dana's going to eventually join your party, then you have turned your brain off more than me. Like,
you might have forgotten the game's title.
Yeah. So, like, she's in my party right now. Like, it's fun. Like, you can switch the characters out, like, completely on the fly. Like, they have a button on the controller that immediately switches them out, you know.
Nice.
Kind of action brawler deal, and they have kind of the, not quite, I always want to say Fire Emblem thing, because, you know, they have the paper, rock, scissors kind of mentality with what weapon beats what. And they do the same thing in Ys 8, except it's with these 3 elements. But I really like that game. It's got good upbeat, like, Japanese pop and metal music going through the whole thing, and you haven't put really hardly any time into Monster Hunter, but I imagine part of the game is going and hunting these giant reptiles and things like that, so it probably gives a little bit of a Monster Hunter vibe in a way, but without the combat complexity.
Someone bought me a copy of Monster Hunter World for PS4 like a month ago, and it's like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, I just I don't have time to play this right now. I want to play it so badly.
Someone buys you something, like, I feel obligated to play it, but, like, I don't always want to immediately play it, and my brain already has, like, a bunch of stuff stacked in my head that I need to play next.
Yeah.
Help things, you know. But, they also had the Bard's Tale beta happen.
Oh, yeah.
The last time I talked about this, it was the alpha. So on the beta, my computer still does not run the game well.
Oh, no.
All right.
I had to move it down to 720p and turn off basically all the effects, and then it was semi-playable, but I really only played it long enough to get a feel for it, and then turned it off. I'm going to have to get a new computer before I play it.
Well, it might be more optimized too during, for the final release.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
This computer that could run Skyrim on max settings with the ultra res patch, and I can't even do this.
Oh no!
$2 million Kickstarter or whatever.
Right.
But no, it's a cool, man. The amount of nostalgia this game gives me that it's not going to give to anyone else who hasn't played the original Bard's Tale games is astounding. Like, I'm really curious what someone who doesn't have a background with it, because like you start the game and you get this really cool, like, the music on the game is absolutely amazing. It's just this Scottish folk like music where they'll just have like one singer and 1 or 2 instruments, or something like that, and it just has this really freaking cool vibe to it. But when you start the game, it gives you a little circle with like a bard and 2 people sitting on it, which is basically the front cover of the original Bard's Tale.
Oh, cool.
And then it starts animating, and they do like this live like singer and I don't know, some sort of guitar lute type stringed instrument like rendition of basically the song that you would hear when you were in the Adventurers Guild in the original game.
Oh, that's so cool.
The it was, God, it was awesome. Just like it constantly throws kind of weird stuff like that at you, stuff that is only going to subvert expectations from someone who played the original games. So I'm going to spoil kind of the first 45 minutes of it, which I feel bad about. So, but at the same time, I also don't think these spoilers will mean anything to anyone who hasn't played the original Bard's Tale games. So,
right.
If you have, maybe check back in 5 minutes or something like
that.
Right. But like, so your first goal, like the city is hunting the adventurers for some reason. They hang a bunch of them, then you wander back to the Adventurers Guild, And the Adventurers Guild in the original game, no monsters could spawn in, and you would go there to equip your guys or change out party members or whatnot. And then the game immediately does a raid on the Adventurers Guild, and you have to get out. In the real world, in our world, like there really is a Skara Brae where this game takes place, like, and it's like this city that is kind of buried at this point in Scotland. And I didn't know that until they did that Kickstarter video where they have Brian Fargo out there standing on it. But this is only to say that in this fictional world, they then go into an underground version of Skara Brae, which is the original Skara Brae from the original game.
Oh, cool. That's so cool.
Freaking awesome. Like I was down there and I was looking around. I'm like, the guy's like, remember, look for the Adventurers Guild. It's a red door, which is what it was in the original game. I thought, no, they didn't do, well, no. Here's this plaza with that statue in the middle. Here's the sign. That's a street name. I like, in the middle of it, I Googled the freaking original map to see if I could pinpoint where it was.
Right. That's so cool.
I got a loose idea of it, but it really turned me around. The combat for the game is real weird. I don't know how I feel about it yet. I think it's definitely serviceable. I just don't know if I'm really enthralled with it or not. Because it's the I think I described it last time. You basically have 4 lanes that you can have your guys in. You get a certain amount of action points for your entire team each turn. So you can use those action points to have your characters change a lane or use one of their powers or attacks. And all their attacks, like you're basically on a 4x4 grid. The enemy can only be in... Oh, that's wrong. You're in a 3x4 grid, right? So the enemy can be in 2 lines, and your group is in the others. You can't move into the enemy's lines. This is just to say that whenever you select an attack, it will be a pattern on wherever the enemy's battlefield is. So, okay.
Oh, I see.
Attack the entire column of this grid, or this attack will attack the entire row in front of me. It's interesting. I just need to see it running on a good computer.
Right. It's coming out to consoles too, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't know, maybe I'll pick it up there. I'm hoping we get, well, okay, I'll just say I'm hoping I will have enough money shortly after it comes out to build myself a new computer. I've been really crossing my fingers on my bonus at work this year. We'll see if it happens.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. I also I watched a ton of Yu Yu Hakusho this month, which made me pull out my DS game, or not DS, the GBA game, Yu Yu Hakusho Dark Tournament Tactics.
Nice.
I only played this a tiny bit. This is just like when I did play it, I was on. I want to sound cool and say I was touring with my band back then. No, we had a gig in Houston that was like an 8-hour drive, and I played it the entire time we were down there. So,
oh wow.
But like it's I don't know, it's a cute game. Like you get all the main 4 characters plus a few of the enemies that you fight in the tournament. Like I don't remember any of their names, guys. But like in the cartoon, he's the red-haired wind guy that has the Irish accent, I think. But anyway.
I only watched that anime once, but I feel like his name begins with a K.
I feel like it does too. That's an excellent memory. It's like Kieran or... I don't know. It doesn't matter. So, but they have all their, like, all the moves they can do are all from, like, the TV show. And they all use X amount of energy, and then you run out of energy, and then you have to recharge. So, like, it's a lot of balancing between... Okay, let's try and take this guy out really quick, and then recharge, and then we'll go and try and take this other guy out. But,
nice.
It's still neat, like summoning EA's Darkness Dragon, or whatever it's called. But it's not a great game. I don't really recommend it.
Not good enough to go back to.
Yeah, I was hoping it would have like a save game plus, and I could just start out and replay through it, because it had a lot of grinding in it. I remember that. but it did not. I got in there, all the nodes were beaten, so then I just selected one and played a couple battles kind of thing to get my fill. But, let's see, Shin Megami Tensei DX2, the mobile game, came out.
Ah, yes.
Yes.
I go back and forth between this game. I can't decide how much I actually like it, because like it feels like a real game, which in a weird way is to its detriment, in that when I pick up my phone and want to play something, I just want to get in and out real quick.
Yeah, suddenly you're playing a genuine SMT game.
Yeah. And like it's cool because like whenever you get your daily updates and your the daily prizes and stuff, it's one of the characters delivering it to you on his YouTube video.
Yeah.
Or they call it Megatube or something like that. But
yeah.
And that character to me is just anime Patrick Klepek.
Yes.
Probably any like semi-white looking person with a giant fro to me is that.
Yeah.
To tell you where that baseline is, but I don't know. It's I think I missed playing it yesterday on accident, but like it has real good graphics. Like I got a bunch of demons. I already got one of the fly version of Beelzebub. I haven't spent a dime on it yet. Have you guys downloaded and played it at all?
Yeah, I actually played it during the beta, and sort of come a long way. I think the thing that is... I've played it very little, but I think the thing that's I would use it for is to recommend people maybe check out if they're interested in the SMT games, because it has like demon fusing and talking to demons and recruiting them and the press turn system. Like it has the core SMT stuff, but it doesn't cost $45 and a 3DS.
That's true. Have you not played it, Mina?
I have. I would like to say that I am currently playing roughly around 20 different mobile games. So my perspective on this game is comparing it to all of these other mobile games, and because I obviously can't keep playing all of them.
Yeah.
But so I don't think it brings enough to the table to beat a couple of the other ones that I could talk about. But I mean, honestly, if I was playing less mobile games, I'd probably play this one more. It's just, I don't know if I like it as much as some of the other ones.
Yeah. That's my problem, too. It's like, Well, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was probably about to say exactly what you were going to say.
Oh.
I'm only playing 4 or 5 mobile games, but it's hard enough keeping up with those.
Yeah.
I'm playing like 2, and I'm like, a third one, I can't possibly do that.
And I'm over here with 20, and I'm like, well, I don't think I can fit this one in.
Nothing stops mobile Mina.
I thought I was going to get rid of Fire Emblem Heroes, and then like the other day, like I was just like, I accidentally pulled a 5-star. Let me play for a minute. Oh yeah, this game's really good.
Yeah. Pulls you back in.
Not going back to playing that daily, but like it's real tough, and it's these games they get you to invest time in it, and then you feel like, or at least in my head, like my natural instinct is to feel like, oh gosh, that means I wasted all my time if I stop playing this.
Yeah, the sunk cost fallacy hits you pretty hard.
Yeah. It's they really.
Once you juggle about 20 of them, that feeling of like just abandoning one doesn't really hit you as hard anymore, because you're like, I can fill this something else in with that. I will say that's the benefit of that, because I completely dropped Fire Emblem. Like it's gone.
Yeah.
Sorry, Fire Emblem.
Well, and I'm just logging in and getting the orbs. It was just that one day where I was like, oh wait, I remember what it was. It said I'd stocked up like 100 orbs or something ridiculous like that, because I just had been logging in and getting the reward and not doing anything. And then like got like 2 or 3 5-stars that day, and wound up playing a little bit, but there's just too much to keep up with.
Yeah.
And right now I'm sure like you guys, the last game I've been kind of talk about that I've been playing is Brave Exvius.
All right, here we go.
7 stars.
Here we go.
They've been doing their celebration and rolled out the 7 stars. And
Yep.
at first I was like, oh, cool, I'm going to make this character and this character. And then I realized the selection they did, I'm like, oh, I can't make anyone.
Right. I could do lightning.
Realized I can make Delita. And then last night I was just going through. What did I do? Oh yeah, I just hit the. I was just browsing my units and randomly discovered I had gained an extra Gilgamesh at some point.
Oh, nice.
Like, oh, cool.
Nice.
I'll do that then. Even though I've never used Gilgamesh and I have no idea how to use him. Which is kind of the same with Delita, but everything I've read about Delita is that. And that may not be how to say his name. I have no idea.
That's how I pronounce it.
That go for it.
Okay. But, like, everything I've read about him, he sounds really lousy, and looking at his skills and things, I have no idea how to incorporate him.
So, I think the reason why a lot of people are a little poo-poo on him is because that he got his 7-star with Ramza, and Ramza, like, it's the anything you can do, I can do better sort of thing. Delita's biggest asset that he brings is that he is a breaker. However, his breaks are weaker than Ramza's, and then Ramza has everything else that he has. And, I mean, Delita has some other stuff, but like when your biggest selling point is beaten by another character who can then buff your party by like 60 something plus % and regions and like all this other stuff, you're beaten. There's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, but he's not. So how do I word this? I think a lot of people are so stuck to the tier list that they don't realize that for an individual player, something may be way better for them than what other things that they have. Like, someone might say, well, yeah, but 7-star Orlando is better than blah, blah, blah. Well, what happens if you don't have blah, blah, blah? 7-star Orlando is better.
Right.
So, it's just how, like, I think breaking away from a tier list and looking more at what's an upgrade for you yourself is the better way to play this game and to have fun.
Right.
So, right now, I am super excited because I was able to, like, 7-star everything except for, like, I think there was 4 characters I couldn't.
Oh, wow.
3 of them I only had 1 copy of, and I've never obtained a Lunith, so...
I just pulled my 3rd Lunith this morning on the Final Fantasy VIII banner. I was just like, that sucks.
I pulled my 2nd Cloud, and I was just like,
oh, nice.
No, I don't want a 2nd Cloud. I wanted my first Renoa.
Right. Yeah, I've been trying to pull to get either Squall or Renoa, and I think I'm sitting on 7 Zells right now. It's like, please stop. Please.
I'm envious. I've only pulled the 3-star off of on banner.
Yeah.
I've dumped a lot of tickets.
So like the first day that it happened, I had I think a dozen tickets, 2 of which were 5-star some percentage. And out of those 2 tickets, I got 1 5-star, and I don't remember what it was.
It's not on banner though.
Yeah, nothing I pulled was on banner with any of those tickets.
Yeah.
And then today I had my willpower broke.
Oh no.
I had 11,000 lapis. And I started doing the
step up banner? Yeah.
And then I spent $30.
We're only human.
no.
That step up banner is going to get you.
Now I have Squall.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I actually got Squall on the 4th step of the step up banner too.
Oh.
Ooh, lucky.
So I didn't even.
You didn't have to go to the 5th.
Yeah, which I had no plan to get to the 5th. Like, what I was like, please just give me Squall or Arena, and I will quit.
Yeah.
And it did, because I didn't like I kind of calculated it out, and if I buy these couple packages and this, I'll at least get this extra stuff and have some tickets for the future, and I felt at least a little strategic in my spending rather than just going to the Lapis page and, oh, here's the 5,000 one for $50. Ugh.
Right.
And honestly, like as much I feel like a crappy person applauding Brave Exvius for this, but I feel like the step-up summons is a good way to curb these people that you hear about spending $20,000 on the game or something.
Yeah.
Well, and
tremendous debt.
I feel like it makes it easier for people like us that aren't putting in money or like putting in money very rarely. Like the only time I put in is for the Fountain of Lapis. I'll spend money there, but
Yep, that's what I do.
I feel like you know exactly how much of the currency you're going to put in, and you know exactly what your chances are to pull at every stage, and that your chances get better every step. And I feel like for me, that makes me way more likely to engage with it instead of like, I don't know, man, 5%, go crazy. It's like, well, that's not really going to work.
Well,
yeah.
During the celebration, they had that one, like I didn't even realize it was a beneficial one I could afford until it was almost over. They had a step-up summon that was just like 3 steps or something like that. That was pretty cheap to take part in.
Yeah.
That I think I did. I don't remember if I got anything good out of it, but that was I don't know. I normally don't spend money on this game, but I broke this time.
you really don't need to with my very extremely limited spending. They had something that really rewarded a lot of the veterans players, which, I mean, you might have benefited a little bit from it, but I know veterans really did, where any lapis you spent at all, doesn't matter where it was obtained, free or not free lapis, and if you had spent it, they gave you back tickets and to pull off this other banner. I managed to pull with I think I had 65 regular tickets and 65 regular tickets from all the lapis spent. But you had to pull off of this specific banner.
Oh, right.
I ended up with I think with those 60-something tickets, I obtained 6 rainbows.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Dang.
So, I mean, like that's from someone who's only bought the Fountain of Lapis and a couple of other things. I know people who walked away with like 12 rainbows from there. I mean, so and that's without spending. So, like, I know some people are still mad that this anniversary wasn't good enough for them, but for me, I think from the beginning of this anniversary to the end now, I've obtained like 15, 16 rainbows.
Yeah, it was very generous.
It's been extremely generous. So
yeah.
And I know it's frustrating for some people who, like, I want to have a 7-star, but I don't have it yet. They'll come.
You've got a lightning.
You'll get a dupe.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen.
Million gold or however much they cost.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which was
very
nice. And I still don't. I don't know that I'm going to use my 7 stars. Like, I've heard Gilgamesh is good to use, but I got to read up on him to figure out.
He's decent, yeah. Lightning's really well. So I think, like, on the Reddit they have something where they're like future viability or whatever. They can take that and just shove it. In my opinion, just take that and shove it wherever, because no one needs to read that. If you have a 7-star right now, like, you're blessed.
You're already doing well enough.
You're doing really well.
Yep.
So, like, the people who are like, oh, well, Lightning may be the top one right now, but she'll be crap in like a couple of months, and I'll be like,
I got a couple of months out of her. That's fine.
You got the best couple of months.
Yeah.
Who cares? And honestly, it's not like they're gonna plummet to like the bottom and unusable tier.
Yeah.
Like, a 7-star is a luxury. So, you know.
Man, I have 2 lightnings. I've just never leveled up lightning.
You should. She's number 1 right now in terms of chaining damage.
Yeah, she's pretty strong.
Right now, especially as a 7-star. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they gave her the she has that Lightning Imperil move now. They gave her that.
Oh, yeah.
Lightning Imperil, and then she has like a I think it's like a 12-hit combo or something like that.
Yeah, it's up there.
And she chains with either herself, like a 7-star version of herself, or a Tidus.
Yeah.
She chains...
I should level up a Tidus.
I have him.
I think I have one of him.
I have one as well.
I think I always think I do, and it's really Vaughn or something like that.
Right, yeah. It's the other protagonist no one likes.
Right.
Just they have similar outfits. Shorts, vest.
Yep.
But,
Oh,
The
man.
blonde swoopy hair.
Yeah. Anything else you played this month, Musin?
nope, that's it.
All right, Mina, let's move over to you.
So I'm going to make the first 2 games pretty short and sweet. Just check out my Patreon blog, Final Fantasy V and Radiant Historia, because I just want to cut down my segment a little bit. I have been playing those games, and the blog does a pretty good job of detailing everything that I would talk about here. We already talked about Brave Exvius, so the next thing we'll roll into is the Danganronpa Ultra Despair Girls Another Episode.
Ah,
This is the full title. I beat it!
nice.
It's been beaten. It's done. So, final thoughts on this game. Number 1. After playing through the entire game and beating all the bosses and the stuff, the combat, still not good. The controls, still not good.
Yeah.
But there's a comma there after that. However, it's not so... Like, the game's not asking so much that you're required to have, like the best controls. Like, it's not like, oh, this boss is impossible and the controls are frustrating. No, the game seems to acknowledge that, like, hey, this game isn't, very good in the combat-y sort of aspect. So even on the difficulty I was on, it was... I think I was playing normal mode. I didn't play the extreme hardcore difficulty or whatever it was. Everything seemed forgiving enough that even when I was making mistakes, it was just like, oh yeah, it makes sense that you couldn't do that. So,
right. Not gonna beat you up about it.
Right. And I kept finding health orbs being tossed out, and because I was so thorough in my investigation of looking for stuff, one of the bonuses I equipped onto my character was that anytime I collected a health orb, it would heal me by 4 hearts, and 6 hearts is the maximum. So,
oh wow!
I was just restoring all my health from just finding 1 health on the ground. It was boop, fills up to max. So, I mean, honestly, game wasn't that complicated enough to require the precise controls, and that's the only negative I have to say about this game. I think the story is really good, which is the most important part of Danganronpa. So I didn't play Danganronpa 1 all the way through recently, but I have a pretty strong memory of my first playthrough of Danganronpa 1. And I remember not being fond of a couple of the characters. If I flash back to when I was there, I didn't like Byakuya, but by the end of the game, I liked that character.
Yeah.
I had complete 180 on him. The front, hated him. End, loved him. Toko Fukawa, however, was one of those ones that was I didn't like at the start, but I didn't really love at the end. It was just yeah, she's there, okay. She was okay.
Which ultimate is she again?
She's the one that had...
The writer?
Yeah, the writing prodigy.
Gotcha,
That's
okay.
Right. So
I was fairly sure I remember what character that is, but I didn't want to spoil
yes.
her character arc.
Right. So she wasn't the character that I liked a lot by the end of it. She was just kind of oh yeah, it's okay. She's, come along for the ride.
Not a super great character, but really good voice acting.
Yes. Oh, amazing voice acting. Oh my gosh, her voice actor. They're so. And then if I looked at Danganronpa 2, and I know this is going to get me probably some hate mail somewhere, I was not a fan of Nagito. Komeda.
Yes, yeah.
I was not a fan from start to finish, not the biggest fan. It's not that I hated his character existing, because this is the part that I always get into a little bit of an argument with people. It's not that I don't like what the character brings to the table, it's just that they don't I don't like them as a person,
right?
I guess. So, I would not want to spend time with this character. Basically, that doesn't mean they're bad for the story, because he was a great story element to that game. Just not one that was my favorite.
Yeah.
However, Danganronpa Ultra Despair Girls, I have gained a if Toko Fukawa was someone that I really didn't like in the first game, I really, 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 really like her in Ultra Despair Girls.
Oh, good.
She is now probably one of my most favorite Danganronpa 1 characters.
Oh.
She might be one of my favorite Danganronpa characters.
Nice.
Because you really get to know a lot about this character pretty intimately. And there were, at the beginning of the game, she was doing stuff that I was just like, I don't understand her. I don't understand why she does this. I don't understand why she's doing this. But once I got to, halfway through the game, it was like, oh, I understand why she is the way she is. And then by the end of the game, I was completely on board with this character, loving this character, and understanding the world of Danganronpa as a whole. The whole thing that had happened to make Danganronpa become this way. And, it was quite a journey. And I think someone asked me, if I were to place this game on, take all the Danganronpa games and sort them from best to worst, where would I place this one? And if this was just a visual novel, I probably would have raised it a lot higher than what I'm going to raise it. But I feel like the battle elements, as crappy as it was in ways, I really think that was the right call for this, because you kind of got to experience running around in a world where Monokumas are running around slashing people to bits.
Oh, right.
And it's you got to really see that sort of thing, which is as I love visual novels, but I don't think you would have gotten the same feeling as this one. So it's really hard to rank this one. I definitely would rank it above the first Danganronpa, but I think it's one of those ones that it's better because I played the first one and the second one, that this one makes it so high on a list for me.
Yeah, because it incorporates stuff from the first two games so deeply.
Yeah. And I think that's an important aspect of Danganronpa is you can't just jump into a different just jump into the third one and miss out the one on the first and the second.
Right.
And you kind of miss out on really enjoying the game. That's like jumping into Zero Escape, the last one, and just missing the first two, and it's
right.
No, you can't do that. You gotta play these in an order because they want you to.
Right.
This isn't like other games. So, yeah, I love it. If you like Danganronpa, I recommend Ultra Despair Girls. At the very least, watch someone's Let's Play of it. You can watch my Let's Play of it.
There you go.
I cut out a lot of the unnecessary bits of the me wandering around aimlessly trying to hunt down for stuff. And by the end of it, I still missed stuff despite my thorough looking for every nook and cranny for something. I still miss stuff, so well, that's that. After finishing that, I'm now doing a Let's Watch anime of the anime. The
Danganronpa 3?
Anime. Yes,
nice.
Because I have not watched all of it yet, because I knew that there was going to be some Ultra Despair Girls parts of it, and I was determined to play Ultra Despair Girls before I watched the anime. So I'm doing that on my channel. And then, because I finished one visual novel, I went to go play another visual novel that someone had recommended for me back when I was doing the Let's Play for Zero Time Dilemma, which is Steins Gate.
Yes, Steins Gate.
Yes.
One of my favorite visual novels.
So I started it, and I've played about... I believe Steam says I've played about 40 minutes of this game.
Okay.
So this is a true visual novel, one that didn't have like a chapter save moment or anything like that. I realized that after a certain point, I was like, man, I feel like I've played a lot of this game, and then I was like, when is there going to be a save point? And that's when I like checked around the menus, like, oh, this is like a real
I gotta manually save.
Manually save.
Yep.
Oh, okay, it's been a while.
Yeah.
So, as silly as that sounds, most visual novels I've played have been ones that have like a clear chapter cutoff.
Right, or like there's two modes where it's like I'm exploring or I'm doing story stuff.
Yeah. Something that says save here.
Yeah.
Take a break. This one's one that's like, no, you're sitting down with the book.
Yeah, just start reading.
Start reading. So, I don't want to talk about it because I'm so confused.
Yeah.
I think I don't have any knowledge of Steins Gate. Like I said this at the beginning of my recording for that game. The only thing I know about Steins Gate, like, this is it. I've seen a dude in a white lab coat.
Yep.
Before, maybe as a cover to the anime, maybe standing
probably
somewhere.
Yeah.
And I think that's all my knowledge of Steins Gate, is that there's some scruffy-looking dude in a lab coat.
That's the best way to go into it, honestly. That's the same way I did, where I'm like, I don't even know what genre this is. I don't know any of the characters, and I feel like it really pays off because I think traveling through that story with that cast of characters is the best thing. I would recommend, though, once you get your first ending, I would then...
Oh, there's endings.
Yes. Well, I would recommend when you get your first ending, I would go and look up an ending guide, because there's...
Oh, is this going to be like a 999 sort of situation where it's like, take this path?
No, there
options?
are very few choices in the game, so it makes getting the endings really easy, and thankfully they have a really smart text skip, so you can skip just the stuff you've already read.
Sweet.
And it'll stop as soon as you get new lines. But to get the true ending, you sort of have to go through a bunch of stuff in order. It doesn't really matter which ending you get first, but to save yourself some frustration, I think, I found it's easy on all three of the games that I've played from that company. Just sort of play and get your first ending, and then go through an ending guide where it's like, make these save files, and then go back here and do all this stuff. And it stops like the head scratching of like, all right, I didn't get a new ending this time. Like, where did I make a wrong choice?
Sure. So right now, I don't want to spoil anything about this game, but right now I am very confused about the main character. I've got like 20 different theories on this guy, and I've only played because I know I said that I've played like 40 minutes of it, but you also have to remember that when I'm recording these episodes for Steins Gate, I have to voice all the characters, so reading out loud versus sitting there and silently reading in my head is two different speeds. So what was 40 minutes of recording might have been like 10-15 minutes of reading. Yeah,
because there's a lot of stuff that's voiced, but there's still a lot of like internal dialogue for what's his name again? Rentaro? He
has his own fake name.
He has two names, yeah.
So I can't remember the names off the top of my head, but he's got the one where he's like, I am the mad scientist, blah, 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 or whatever.
God, I love that game so much. Oh, man.
I can't tell. So I guess this isn't a spoiler, because honestly, you'll figure this out in the first 5 minutes. I can't tell if he's being serious, if he's self-deluded,
right,
if he's delusional, period, or if they I can't tell what's real and what's in his head and what's it's very confusing.
That's something that pulled me into the game really early. Is like, my first impressions are like, all right, everybody in this group seems really cool. The dude I'm playing as, though, seems insane.
Right, but the thing is that makes the childhood friend character very confusing to me too.
Yes.
I can't tell if she's in on it, or if she's used to him over the years, or if she is dumb as how many how many light bulbs are broken here? Because
I won't spoil anything about it, but the way that stuff pays off is really good.
I imagine so.
Yeah.
So I'm really into it. It's just right now I don't know how to explain how mind-blisteringly I'm confused by everything that I'm seeing. And I figure it won't be for a while until I get past that, because I kept recording thinking it'll start making sense soon.
Yeah.
And it just got more and more not sense.
Yeah, pretty soon, I think if I remember correctly, pretty soon he sort of pulls back and gives you the history of like their group and their friendship and stuff, but it's very much like part of the hard part for me, and I know it's not a problem for you, Mina, but part of the problem for me with recommending this game is, especially in the beginning, maybe like the first 2 hours, it's really anime. Like, I don't know how else to describe it. It's just very anime, and I know some people can't deal with that to get over like the initial hump where it's sort of it doesn't really break that mold, but it sort of, it's almost like in media res at the beginning, and when they start explaining stuff it becomes easier, but like for some people getting through that initial hump is tough. Because
you're right, it's very anime at the front, because it's, like I said, he is over the top. This main character he is as far as he could be in this direction, which makes you wonder if he's all right, or if he's just acting, or if he, like, I don't know how aware of everything he is.
And have you met Daru, his hacker friend?
No, I met I guess her name is, was her name Rika? I don't know. She's got the reddish brownish hair, long. She's supposed to be like a genius or something.
I'm pulling up. Rintaro's the main character. Oh, Kirisu Makase.
Okay.
Yeah.
So.
And then Mayuri is the friend with the weird hat.
That's right. Right. Okay. So I just met basically the third character, I guess, because I don't feel strongly that the person whose interview thing or whatever it was counts as a character yet. Maybe he does.
Oh, right.
So I guess the thing is like, apparently, like, this guy, was it about a time machine or the theory of some sort of time machine or something like that?
Yeah.
This guy's presenting.
That's right. Yeah. The guy who's, let me not spoil this. The guy who's in the intro says he has figured out the technology behind creating time travel. Right.
That is the place that we're crashing. I guess we're crashing.
Yeah, like his press conference thing.
That's it. Press conference thing. Yeah, that's right. That's what it was.
Yeah, I forgot. I forgot Rintaro's other name is Hoho and Kyoma.
Oh, that's it, Kyoma.
Yeah.
That's what he does. That Kyoma.
The mad scientist Kyoma.
Yeah. So trust me, I think I have the Japanese audio on Steam.
Yeah, they don't have. There's no English audio.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. It's over the top.
When he's Kyoma, it reminds me a lot of the Ultimate Breeder from Danganronpa 2, where it's just this like hands in the air, like.
Yeah, I get that impression, which is why when I was like doing that, I had to throw my hands out. Yeah, the game's really good so far. I don't have anything other than confusion to offer you guys, but
it's the best way to start it.
Right, and hopefully I'll have the video up of that recording soon, and I'll continue playing it.
Yeah.
The next game I played is Octopath Traveler.
Oh, me too.
Woo! So I started with Tressa. Who did you pick?
I started with the night guy because I had
Ulbrich?
Yes, because I had heard like right as I was starting, like I was looking at the character select wheel, and my brother had texted me and said, "Hey, by the way, the first person you pick is always going to be in your party." So, choose appropriately. And I was like, well, you can't go wrong with a warrior, right? And so far, no, you can't go wrong with a warrior.
He's pretty good.
Yeah.
He's pretty good. Because since I started with Tressa, I'm moving in a clockwise motion around the map.
Yeah, me too. I started at the the southern point.
Yeah, because underneath Tressa is Ulbrich, so we're making the same exact path right now.
Yeah, just like character late.
One character later than you.
Right.
So I made it all the way to Alphen before I stopped playing.
Which class is that?
Alphen is the pharmacist/healer dude.
Okay, I haven't gotten
He would have been the third... Okay. He's the third character you will recruit. He was my fourth.
Yeah, I have done... My first one was the warrior. My second one was...
Primrose.
No.
Dancer.
I skipped her.
No. You skipped her?
Yeah, I went the other way, because for me, Primrose was like to the right and then to the left, and I just kept going right around the circle. So my next one was the...
You had to have hit the alchemist dude, the healer.
No, my second one was... Boy, I wonder if they shuffle it around. Let me... Octopath Traveler characters. Cyrus. My second one was Tressa, the merchant.
Okay, so you're going counterclockwise then.
Oh, am I going counterclockwise?
Yes.
It's been a little bit of time since I've played Octopath Traveler because I kind of am not enjoying it.
Oh no.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh dang. So that's unfortunate because I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, I like most things except for the story.
So, okay, I think Tressa isn't a very good example of the story.
No.
So Tressa is... If I were to recommend, like, if you're curious of, like, hey, I want to play a character that's got a really interesting story, like, I really want to get into it, I would go for... Primrose makes a good candidate for a character story. The thief dude, I don't remember his name. Therian. He has a pretty interesting story, but I would say like Primrose would definitely like pull you into her situation.
Okay.
I don't think it's a spoiler to say anything about this, so I'll just go ahead and say it. Primrose is the dancer character that you can recruit. She is working in the slummy area.
She's like sold into slavery. I played a little bit of her in the demo.
So, I don't want to spoil it, but she's got reasons why she's there.
Right.
And she wasn't so much sold into slavery as she led people to believe that she was.
Oh, interesting.
She is a highly intelligent character.
Yeah.
And she's got deep, deep motives in what she's doing. And so I think if you want to enjoy like a really interesting character story, hers works. Whereas Tressa's more like, I want to explore the world.
Yeah, friendship.
Friendship.
Yeah. I did do the scholar Cyrus. I thought his was pretty interesting because he had like a... For anyone that hasn't played the game, each character has their own primary skill when they're wandering around like towns in the world. What do they call it?
I don't remember.
It has a weird... Like everything in an RPG has like a weird term. It can't just be like your character skill. His is kind of cool because he scrutinizes people, so he's like figuring out all these clues on who stole this book, and I thought that was kind of cool because it was different than... Like the Ulbrich's intro was like, "There's thieves in the hills again. Let's go find another cave dungeon." You know, I thought it was kind of neat that you're going through this like Phoenix Wright sort of mystery. I think part of the reason why I'm so frustrated in it is I really like the battle system and I really like traversing the world, and the game looks cool and the music is great. It's just the voice acting and the story aren't... I feel like they're not of the same quality as the rest of the game.
That's fair. I haven't only seen these 4 characters' stories, and I can only... Well, I've heard of the Thief's one, and the Thief's one sounds really good too. Mm-hmm. From what I've heard, and Ulbrich's was okay, I guess. Tressa's not very good in terms of like they're not engaging. Their 2 stories are not engaging. Alphen starts off with a pretty high-paced sort of thing. I guess it's kind of like on the same page as Ulbrich. But I think the thing is like Primrose feels like when she goes out and leaves the town that she starts in, you feel like you have like a real goal, a real destination. Like you've got a compass in hand and you're like, I'm on a mission to do this. So I feel really strongly like she's a character that has a strong story. So I would recommend for someone looking for a good story. She works. I think the thief works, and I have no idea about the other characters.
I felt like that when I finished Cyrus's. Where like for anyone listening, it sort of follows the same thing where it's like, I have a pretty good life. Whoops, it gets torn apart. Now I have to leave and go adventure outwards. And I felt like also with Cyrus the scholar, when he was done, I was like, yeah, okay, cool. Like I want to go see the world with this dude. That sounds cool. I think to the positive and negative of these storylines is they're very, very, very small stories. It's just like one person in one town has a normal person that's their antagonist. And it's not, well, I better go leave the city to go kill God. It's not like a typical JRPG story.
Right.
Which I think is refreshing. But like you're saying, there's only like one or two characters so far that either one of us have played where we're sort of energized to leave their starting city and go adventure. Otherwise, it's sort of like, okay, cool, like I finished their first hour. Thank goodness that's over.
Yeah. It feels way more that like Tressa is a good character who just kind of comes along with someone else's journey as opposed to some of the other characters who have like a real goal in mind.
Yeah.
But I still picked Tressa because I like the character, and I was like, I like the merchant character, and that's who I want to start with.
I also like bothering people to buy stuff out of their pockets.
Right.
I think that's fun. They're like, hey, what do you got to sell? And it's like, oh, cool, like your mom's brooch and like a bottle of wine. I'll take both of those, thanks.
Right? And I also like how whenever you walk into a map, she just randomly finds money, and I'm just like,
yep.
That's how I like.
Yeah, and she actually has a really good skill in battle too early on, which I'm glad she was my second character, where she just steals a buttload of money from enemies.
Buttload. Make sure to steal from every boss. Cause,
yeah, it's great because like it not only does it tell you the chances to steal. But it also like, oh, I have 400 gold, and she's like, that's cool. I just stole 14,000. It's like, what? Okay, great.
Have you talked to her parents to see what they've got for sale?
Oh no, I should have done that. I'll have to fast travel back there.
Her parents have some really good accessories that totally break the early game.
Awesome. I think
there's something
that very early on. I wish the game made a bigger deal out of it, but I like that as soon as you've hit your second city, you have fast travel available.
Yeah. That's a good part of it. Yeah. If you go back to her parents, though, her dad, I believe her dad sells one accessory that's really good, and her mom sells one accessory that's really good.
Okay.
And both of them are like, I forget which one's which, but one of them gives you like a ton of SP per turn.
Oh, nice.
I equipped that onto Ulbrich because he has like really good sword skills, and I really like them.
Yeah.
But they are super mana costly.
Yeah.
So if I give him that basically MP returning one, he's just like he just fills up.
It's
all
just
the
a
time.
whirlwind.
Yep.
I'll have to go swing by and see them maybe on my way to getting Primrose.
Yeah. Go for Primrose.
Yeah.
She's an interesting character. So I haven't played too much of that, but let's move on to the last game that I played. That's an RPG because I've played other games that aren't RPGs. Kingdom Hearts.
The first one?
The first one.
Oh, okay.
This is my first time playing Kingdom Hearts.
Hey, congratulations.
Woo. So I've completed, I guess, the first 3 worlds. I don't want to spoil what the worlds are, but I'm going to spoil the last one because I hated it.
Which you can spoil it. Kingdom Hearts is like 15 years old at this point.
Oh, okay. So there was the Alice in Wonderland world, which was pretty good.
Yeah. It's a little mazy.
World, it was, but nothing as bad as the last world I'll talk about. The second world was Hercules' Colosseum.
Yeah. Get on the back of the Hydra.
Which was, yeah. Oh, there was a...
Maybe you haven't fought that yet. There's a famous scene where the Danny DeVito sound alike, just, that's all he repeats for like the 5 minutes battles. Get on the back of the Hydra. Just...
What?
It's the worst.
I fought Cerberus with the
Oh, that was a fun fight.
Yeah. And then the last world I went to, which was the worst world possible, is Tarzan.
Oh.
What a horrible, awful place.
That's probably the third worst one. Just to be fair. So,
here's the thing about this world. The other worlds, I felt like I had some sort of direction. At least
yes.
some.
Yeah.
Okay? The vaguest amounts. Like, I could probably, like... I go back and talk to a character because I'm confused. I'm like, what was I doing again? I talk to a character, and they're like, you need to find clues, and blah, blah, blah.
Right, go talk to the Queen of Hearts. Okay, like, all right, I'll get back there.
Right. Thank you for telling me that. You know, I get back on track pretty quickly. Tarzan's world is not like that at all.
No.
There's only like, honestly, I think there might be only one NPC in this entire world that you can talk to. And this NPC can be the least helpful character to tell you where to go, period.
Yeah, she's just like sitting in the camp being like, I don't know what I'm going to do. It's like, no, where do I go?
Yeah.
Just help me, please.
And Tarzan's not exactly helping me, like talking to me and telling me where to go.
Right.
And the game isn't telling me where to go.
Yep.
It's not even telegraphing where to go. I spent 2 hours in this game wandering. Like, I have a save point. Like, I saved and I did a bunch of stuff and I was just like, and I saved again and I looked and I had 40 minutes and I had to accomplish nothing. And I was like, what am I doing? But the other problem is that like the map doesn't connect properly.
No.
At all.
Nope.
I don't understand. And then there's like the vine swinging mechanic. I don't know what is a real vine and what's not.
Yes.
So I assume the ones that were moving were real, but what about all these other ones? There's platforms all over the place, but I don't know if I can jump to them or if I'm supposed to swing to them. So I'm constantly jumping into my own, falling down into the middle of the hippopotamus pond.
Yeah, like the screen underneath you.
Like 20 times.
I fear for your sanity for the Pinocchio and the Little Mermaid worlds. Little Mermaid is easily the worst world in this game, hands down.
Is it going to have underwater mechanics?
Oh, it's the worst. It's even worse than you think it is. Is it
going to have water mechanics?
Yeah, it's so bad. The Pinocchio one, there's a portion at the end where it's not a spoiler because they just follow the movies. If anyone's watched Pinocchio, at some point you're inside of Monstro.
Right.
That's another part where look up a map because it's very much like, all right, I'm going to go up on this platform, I'm going to go in that door, and I come out, and this doesn't connect. Like, how did I get here? It's like that's not how physics work.
It's so weird because Traverse Town characters told you specifically where to go.
Yep.
And what to do. They sometimes tell you twice.
Yes.
just to hammer it home, like you
Squall
need to go here.
Or Leon, they call him.
Leon.
I think. Yeah,
he goes by Leon.
Yeah.
Which is weird, but I was like, I'll roll with it. You want to be called Leon? Fine, we got it. I'm super confused as to how did this happen with this map where they just like they have and like for some reason the map doesn't connect at all at certain places. You just appear from the sky on some of the maps.
You like fall into the map. It's like, oh great.
And so that one was annoying to traverse around, but it was also annoying to figure out where I was going. And then I got to the boss.
Who's the boss? The dude with the gun?
dude with the gun, yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Dude with the gun. And he's riding on an invisible chameleon thing or whatever.
Oh, God, that's right. Where did that come from?
So then you have to fight, like, the both of them at the same time. Like, he's just pot-shotting you the entire time. So what I kept attacking the lizard thing, right? The chameleon or whatever it was. I attacked that thing a bunch, and I got it down to 0 health, and I kept attacking it, and I must have attacked it for another 30, 60 seconds of just... and no health drop. So I thought to myself, okay, maybe you can't kill him until you kill Clayton. Clayton's the guy with the gun.
Right.
So I go and I try to kill Clayton, and I forget what happens. I think I end up dying to some nonsense. And I was really confused. I was like, this is so impossible. You have this chameleon thing just swiping at your back constantly, and you can't kill him because he's invulnerable. What I didn't realize was the one attack that the chameleon does, if he's doing that attack, he cannot be killed.
Oh, interesting.
So he had, like, invulnerable frames that I was trying to hit at. But the game didn't tell me that.
Right.
I had scan equipped on Sora, which lets me see the enemy's health bar. I could see that I was swinging and hitting him, but 0 damage was occurring. So I was like, okay, so he's effectively dead, and I need to kill the other character to end this boss fight. I was wrong. You just have to wait until his invulnerability wears off, and then you can just kill him.
I can't wait until you play Kingdom Hearts 2, though, because almost all of these problems are resolved. It's this weird thing where, like, this first game is good, but there's just so much dumb, broken PS2 stuff in this game.
I need to turn on the light a little bit because I'm in the dark. So I forgot to mention the other part about playing this Kingdom Hearts game. One of my friends, when I went to go play this game, I told him I'm going to play it, and he's like, well, if you don't pick the correct mode, I will not be proud of you.
Oh, God,
like,
here we go.
You need to make sure you pick the right mode, or I won't be proud. And so when I loaded up the game, I was like, what does he mean by what correct mode? I looked, and I saw there's a proud mode. And I was like, this has to be what he's talking about. That has to be it, right?
Yep.
So that's the mode I'm playing on.
Heaven help you.
It's so...
It's that's another recommendation where I know that person has the right interest in mind, because if you beat it on proud mode, you get the actual true ending, which you can just look up on YouTube. Ending? But like, it's just another cutscene at the end. But it's so much harder, especially it's really meant for you to play like normal mode first, and then it teases you and says like there might be more if you beat it on proud mode, and then you like know how to break the game.
I see.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
So I am playing on proud mode, and I decided I asked my viewers like, what would you like me to do to make the series more interesting for a Let's Play, and everyone was like, fight all the bosses. Like, that was the one that they were like, fight all the secret bosses. Like, well, if I find them, I'll fight them. And then the second thing someone said was like, they were like, put a death counter in the corner.
That's more fun.
Like,
yeah.
So yeah, I've been having a death counter go off every time I die in the game, and I've been including every death that happens while I play.
Renning 109 in chat says she's also a mage. Oh God.
Oh yeah. I didn't understand like what the whole thing was. I was like, I like magic, so I was like, I picked mage, and I dropped the sword because I figured I'd need the shield for defense in a harder difficulty. Yeah.
It won't. So, I don't think that'll matter too much pretty soon. I think it all normalizes pretty early on, but yeah, it's going to make the intro a little bit harder.
What I did notice is boy, do I need to make sure I use magic instead of hitting enemies.
Yes.
'Cause whoa, lad, when I try and hit an enemy and try and kill it, it takes forever. But if I successfully get some magic hits on it, it just blows up. So.
Yeah, for anyone listening that is interested in starting it, I probably would have recommended the opposite: pick sword and drop magic, because Donald is pretty good at magic, and he's a little dumb when it comes to healing, but if you can get good at telling him to heal people, then it mitigates that a little bit.
He dies a lot on proud mode.
He's real squishy.
So sad. He dies so easily on Proud Mode. I'm like, I just want him to live. Goofy lasts. Goofy lasts a lot.
I'll tell you something. He dies a lot on normal mode. He's pretty dumb.
Oh, no. Oh, okay. So this isn't a problem with just Proud Mode.
No, it's just a problem with Donald being who he is.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna run into enemies and start casting fire, and it's like, dude, just pass out already. Like, I don't need you.
Oh, that's so sad. I do like the game, and I have heard plenty that the series gets better when I get to the second one.
Almost immediately. It's way better.
Yeah, but I do want to play them, and I do want to play all the games by release or whatever to.
Oh yeah, you bought the collection, right?
Actually, my viewer Ricky bought me the PS4 collection one, the final mix, whatever it's called, the final
one with
mix,
the 3 games.
Blah, 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 blah. Well, it's
3 sets of games. Sorry,
it's got more than that. It seems to have like 6 games built into it. I don't understand. It looks like a lot.
Yeah, it's 1.5, 2.5, and 2.8. Those are like the 3 sets of games. So yeah, you'll play Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, which was the Game Boy Advance one that I really like.
Oh boy, can't wait.
Yeah, it's.
I just need to finich this one.
Yeah, one of my favorite things about it is I've been playing Kingdom Hearts since the very first one came out, and
really,
Chain of Memories picks up literally like 5 seconds after the last cutscene of the first one. It's such a cool. It's
no time skip here.
No, it's so cool, and it's so different because it's like a card battling game. It's so fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that. I hope everything goes well, because I do like what I've played so far. I just hate Tarzan's world.
Yep.
That was awful.
Yeah, that's one of those worlds where it's just like, I'm gonna look up a fact, and it's like, oh, there's an exit like up and around if I take this path. It's like, I would have never seen that.
Yeah, and it doesn't help that the game is not guiding you at all.
No.
And I don't expect a game to handhold me on stuff, but when it's just like, it drops me into a world, it's like, okay, do it.
Go hang out with Tarzan. It's like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had no idea where I was going or what I was doing. So that is the last game that I really played. What about you, Boston?
We already talked about Final Fantasy V and Octopath Traveler, so the only other game I have is Destiny 2. I just want to talk a little bit about, because I know everybody is sick of me talking about it. But right now is the Solstice of Heroes event. It's the summer event / the end of Destiny 2 Year 1, which feels like it's been about 4 years of Destiny 2's first year. And they have a really, really cool system for this one, and I desperately hope they keep doing this. Basically, when you start the new event, you go to the tower and you talk to this giant statue in the middle of it, and you go, and they have these things called Redux missions. They have 5 missions in the game. It's Homecoming, Spark, 1AU, Chosen, and Payback. And they've redone them to make them, as I've been calling them, hilariously difficult. They have changed so much from each one of these missions, not only from what you need to do, but enemy placement, enemy difficulty. It's such a cool idea. You finish the first mission, and they give you a set of green armor, which is, for all intents and purposes, the worst quality. And each piece of armor has 3 goals for you to do. It'll be like, well, run this Redux mission and kill 10 people in the Crucible and run 5 strikes. Once you do all that, that one piece of armor will be finished. When you complete all 5 of those pieces, go back to the statue and it upgrades them to blue. And then at that point, you get 5 new sets of challenges. And those are much harder, where it's like, run 3 heroic strikes, run the Nightfall, do a bunch of stuff in PvP. And once you do that, you can then upgrade all of them to the purple quality, the legendary, the let's say the highest one, that gives you 400 power armor, which is 15 power higher than anything you can get in the game right now. So it's been really great because instead of just how Bungie would have done this previously was, well, just run this activity and maybe it'll have like a 10% chance to drop this item and then you'll get this new armor. But instead, they have this cool system where I'm encouraged to play everything the game has on offer to get the most out of this armor to get it upgraded. And there's all these bounties and there's all these rewards. Like I just got the reward this morning for the t-shirt code. So now I'll be able to get my third Destiny t-shirt. So I can frame those two. I have the other ones over there somewhere. But it's really nice to see Bungie continues to get better and better with Destiny 2. I've talked about Destiny 2's problems for, I guess, the last 365 days. But it's nice to see them continuing to improve, and it's nice to see them do something like this event where they have the grind, which you really want in a loot game, but they implemented it really intelligently to where every time I sit down, even if I'm only playing for 15, 20 minutes, I feel like I'm doing something to make some progress instead of just grinding this activity and hoping for the chance that I get a drop. So the Forsaken DLC comes out, the new expansion comes out in actually almost a month to the day now. So I am ready and raring to go to play more Destiny 2, which is surprising because I've been playing the hell out of it for the last year, and I'm still hungry for more content. So, though if my time with Destiny 1 says anything, I'm for some reason a real sucker for this series. So, but other than that, if anyone follows me on Twitter, you have probably followed my trials and tribulations with my 4-job Fiesta this year, which has not been easy. And I'm sort of stalled out on my 4th run now.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's...
What are the jobs on your 4th run? Because I've seen a lot of your runs, and I don't quite remember which one occurred, which place.
Pull up the page here. So it was originally Summoner, Black Mage, Chemist. I was doing a popular run. There's a person on Twitter, Erzot's Cats, that they and I have been trading a lot of knowledge about, like, oh, I'm stuck at this boss, what should I do? With my party setup that was just 2 summoners and a black mage, we ran out of ideas for how to beat Archie of Avis, the Earth boss. I'm fairly sure, unless I did a lot of grinding, there was no way for me to do it. So I re-rolled one of my summoners into a knight, and then now I'm in about halfway through World 2. I'm about to fight the the Seal Guardians. Or I'm playing iOS, so it's just a bunch of question marks. And I'm sort of not looking forward to that fight with my group. Like, it'll be a little easy because Chemist is broken and Black Mage is broken, but not as easy as having, a samurai and just doing Zen Nage 3 times and be like, all right, I'm done.
Guild toss.
Yeah. But yeah, I wanted to do as many runs as I could this year, especially with me playing the iOS version. I can just sort of play it anywhere. And my first 3 runs went fairly well. And this one is probably one of the harder ones I've run. I don't really have any healing this time, so it's been a little challenging. But Final Fantasy V is still really good, and the iOS version is fine. I really like the auto battle in it. I think they've fixed too many bugs, which is a really weird thing to say, but some of the beneficial bugs aren't there anymore. But yeah, man, it still looks real bad. Except for enemy sprites, almost all of them look really, really good. But the rest of it just looks really rough.
I just don't understand why they went with the RPG Maker look when you have glorious, glorious sprites.
Yeah, the Game Boy Advance version still looks so good.
It's so good. I tried to play the iOS version. I don't remember where I got to before I was like, okay, let me just load up the Game Boy Advance version right now.
It's just rough. I don't know. All right, let's move into our last thing here, which is quick RPG releases for August 2018. Monster Hunter World comes out on PC on the 9th. Yay, Mina! Success! Your patience has finally paid off.
Well, I really can't say my patience. It was Moonpier bought the PS4 version for me, so I didn't have to worry about patience.
That's true, yeah. Yeah, that's true.
He bought me the PS4 version, and he doesn't even play the PS4 version. I was like,
yeah. Now he has a PS4. That's true.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
He has a PS4 now?
Yeah.
Does he play? I gotta ask him if he plays Monster Hunter.
Yeah, I think he only has God of War on there, but
okay.
Yeah. Cosmic Star Heroine is coming out on the Switch on the 14th, which still a game I want to play.
I liked it until it glitched on me, and I lost an hour or two of progress. So.
Oh no! Well, it's on the Game Club list, so I guess it'll come up at some point.
I kickstarted it, and I haven't played it.
Yeah. Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate also coming out for the Switch on the 28th. This is the remake of the Wii game? Wii U?
Wait, say that again?
Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate.
No, I think this is the... I won't explain the whole Monster Hunter thing. I think this is like the super duper deluxe version of the Monster Hunter Gen. It's the Japanese version with the G rank. That's right, because Generations didn't have G rank. For those of you who don't know what that means, it's just the super duper hard version of Monsters. So just don't worry about it if you don't understand Monster Hunter. If you do, it's the G rank version.
Okay.
See, I knew it was the super duper deluxe version.
Yeah, and the Japanese version is Monster Hunter XX. This is the HD version of that.
Double cross.
Yeah, double cross. All right, now I'm back to it. Yakuza Kiwami 2 comes out on PS4 on the 28th. Which I'm very excited to punch a tiger in the face. That is this Yakuza game. That's coming out on PC, I believe, as well in a couple of months. I believe. But Yakuza 0 is out right now on PC, so go buy it and play it. It's great. And last but not least, Divinity Original Sin 2 comes out on PS4 and Xbox One on the 31st. I would like to pick this game up, but I know I will never have time to play it. So
the multiplayer
backlog is huge.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I wish I could commit a certain amount of time a week to play with one of my friends who has it. So
yeah, because the co-op is so good in these.
Completely jack up whatever story and thing.
Start killing people. Oh no, I slaughtered the town. That's so weird.
It's so good.
Yeah.
On completely different sides of town, just one guy's stealing paintings, the other person is trying to, I don't know, suck up to law enforcement or something.
Right. Distract them. All right, thank you very much, everyone, for listening. That's our episode this month. If you'd like to visit us, you can do so at pickingupthepixels.com. All the places to contact us, find us, and follow us are on the right-hand side of the page. Musum, where can we find you?
You can buy my music at musum.bandcamp.com, and also check me out on Spotify and my home for all my audio pages, jbaudio.net.
And Mina.
You can find me on Twitch or YouTube under Mina KO Rocket.
Or Mobile Mina.
Or Mobile Mina.
Yeah. And you can find all my shows at e1m1.com. Thank you, Musum and Mina, for joining me for yet another month.
Pleasure as always.
Thank you.
And our adventures continue next month.